October 19th, 2020 will definitely go down in the books as one of the most important days of silly season 2020. And why do I say that? I'm going to talk about it next. What's up, guys? It's me. I really hope you guys are doing all right today, because you know what? I'm doing fine myself. This episode is coming out the day after the doubleheader from Texas Motor Speedway with the trucks and as well as the Cup Series. By then, you probably would already know the winners of both races, so congratulations to the both of them. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about what the day that basically a lot of silly season news broke out, which was October 19th, 2020, which was last week. There were three things that ended up happening on this day. NASCAR had confirmed that Kyle Larson would be reinstated on January 1st, 2021. And then the next there were two sources that ended up coming out that Chase Briscoe would take over for Clint Bowyer next year in the 14 car. And then also Eric Jones moving over to Richard Petty Motorsports, getting a deal finalized over there. These sources were confirmed. All three of these news items basically officially broke out 3 days apart from each other. So, for example, I'm going to actually go ahead and say this. Larson being reinstated, that news broke out October 19th. Then the source of Chase Briscoe moving up to Cup, replacing Bowyer in the 14. That was confirmed on October 20th. And then Eric Jones going over to the 43 car for Richard Petty Motorsports. That was confirmed on October 21st at 9:15 in the morning. I know this because I actually do have the article pulled up. But anyways, these are actually some pretty key moments here. Key events to happen throughout silly season 2020, because now that means that the possibilities of Eric Jones going to Hendrick Motorsports to drive the 88, those possibilities have been tanked. Chase Briscoe going up to the Cup Series in the 14, that has been confirmed, which means for Kyle Larson, the doors for him to get signed by Silliest Racing to go to the Xfinity Series to drive the 98 car, that door is pretty much wide open at this point, at least from what we know of right now. And yes, I know that there's probably going to be a lot of people that will question why I'm saying Larson going to the Xfinity Series to drive for Silliest Racing. And I say this because everybody knows that Tony Stewart has been really vocal on wanting to get Larson onto his team, and there were some rumors that he could have been going. There were some rumors back then saying that he would have been going to Silliest Racing, like say in 2022, and that would have been really interesting because in NR 2003, off topic by the way, there was a fictional 2022 car set which had Kyle Larson driving the 10 car for Silliest Racing, which I thought was actually pretty interesting. But the possibilities of Larson driving for SHR are pretty much wide open. They're really possible now because that 98 car is going to be open next year, at least from what we know of, and Larson could definitely take a chance and drive that 98 car. Because I think it actually would be a good thing to actually go down to the Xfinity Series first, because he hasn't been in a Cup car since, March? Before COVID broke out and everybody was quarantined for the last couple of months. And I would definitely say it's just he hasn't really, like I said, he hasn't run a Cup car since March, so he'll probably be very rusty. He hasn't been able to access iRacing to race on the tracks that NASCAR goes to because his I guess his I think his account on iRacing was terminated after the racial slur that he accidentally leaked. Well, and then from there, every single other partnership that he had, including Chevrolet, was terminated. And a lot of people are saying that he could go to Hendrick Motorsports. And I really don't know if that's going to be possible because of the terminated partnership with Chevrolet. If things do between Larson and Chevy do end up getting let's see, I'm trying to find the right words here, but if this burned bridge between Kyle Larson and Chevrolet get rebuilt, then maybe Larson could go to Hendrick Motorsports to drive the 88 car, or if the 88's not gonna race anymore, maybe the 5 or the 25, or just raced for somebody else in the Cup Series. I ended up putting up a tweet basically saying that the best chance for Larson to kind of rebuild his career and try to get the hang of being in a race car, like a NASCAR stock car again, would have to be the Xfinity Series, because for Larson, it's been a while since he's been in the Cup Series, as I've said before, probably 100,000 times already. And it would take him a while to find his rhythm. Because, like, some drivers that haven't been in the Cup Series in a while, like Matt Kenseth, for instance, when they step into a Cup car, they don't normally perform as well as they used to. Because Kenseth, he's been in the Cup Series every single year until 2017, which he did actually pretty good, driving for both Roush and Joe Gibbs. And then the next year, he gets tapped to share the 6 car with Trevor Bayne. He didn't do as well, but once he got a few races under his belt, he kind of picked up the pace a little bit. Now he's driving for Chip Ganassi, which he's been doing so since May of this year. And he hasn't really lost a step, but he hasn't been performing as well as he used to. Another example I could probably pick out is Jeff Burton. He made a few starts in 2014 after retiring from full-time competition in the previous year. He drove for Michael Waltrip Racing. He did pretty decent. He ended up finishing top 20, then drove for, I believe, Nemco Motorsports or Circle Sport, I don't know, but he did drive a 66 car at New Hampshire. Then he drove a couple races with Stuart Haas when Tony Stewart was out for a few weeks, which he did fine there, and then that was it. But he didn't perform as well as he used to. And then also on top of that, I'm trying to think if there's any other drivers that have gotten back into a Cup car and haven't performed as well as they used to. I can't say Jeff Gordon because, I could, but, also at the same time, he has performed pretty well when he drove 8 races in the 88 car, when he was subbing for Dale Jr. and also sharing that 88 with Alex Bowman. Because, let's face it, with Jeff Gordon, he hadn't been out of the Cup car at that time for nearly a year. He was out of the Cup car for roughly 6 or 7 months, maybe 8 tops. And then just from there, he got back into a Cup car after having a little bit of experience on the simulator, which he actually did perform fairly decent. Kind of the same as he did in his last years driving in the Cup Series. He did fairly decent. But what I'm trying to say is, obvious, it was just a few minutes ago, is that some drivers who haven't been in the Cup Series in a little while, when they step back into a Cup car, they don't normally race as well as they used to. It takes them a little bit to kind of get back into the rhythm. And then once they do, either two things happen. They'll either do decent or they'll do really, really good. it's either or. Kyle Busch, when he got back into a Cup car after wrecking at Daytona in the Xfinity Series when he missed about a third of the season, it took him a little bit to get back into the rhythm, and then from there, he kept plugging away, winning races left and right in all three series. All three. And then from there, he won a championship. Which still there are some people that might say that, if he had not been granted a Chase waiver, he wouldn't have been the champion. It would have been Kevin Harvick for a second year in a row, but they granted him a Chase waiver anyway at that time. So, not really much you can do there. You can't really go back and change the past. But, anyways, off that topic. So if Kyle Larson were to go back to the Cup Series, obviously it's going to take him a little bit to find his rhythm, and then once he starts getting some top 10s and top 5s under his belt, then maybe he'll definitely have gotten his rhythm back and he would probably do just fine. I don't know. Like I said, we don't know which team he's going to drive for. We don't know where he's going. We'll just have to figure out as time goes on. Most likely, I would probably have to say wait until the day he gets reinstated, because I think from there they're gonna see if they can get Larson on, like whether it be Stuart Haas or any other team. I'm thinking they're waiting until he gets reinstated, which is probably going to be the case. But anyways, I want to know what you guys think. Like, where do you think Larson is going to go? And vice versa. I think that's it. It's like, let me rephrase. This is actually what I want to hear from you guys. Where do you think Kyle Larson is going to go? And if he goes to the Xfinity Series mainly Cup Series, how do you think he's going to do? Do you think he's going to kind of struggle a little bit? Or do you think he's going to get his rhythm back right away? I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I hope what I said makes a little bit of sense, and if it doesn't, I'm sorry. But anyways, I want to thank you guys a lot for watching episode 3 or 4, of NASCAR Hot Take. If you guys like this, be sure to give it a like. If you have not considered subscribing yet, recommend you do so in order to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future. And that about does it for me. I'll see you on the next one.